Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, DM in the MD, Real Estate in Focus. Again, as I mentioned before, I am a RE/MAX agent and I work for the Abrams Group. And I have with me again today, Rob Mercer for First Home Mortgage.
I'm so happy to be back. Thank you, everybody.
So today we're going to talk about loans and programs that are available for people who need financing. And I think I'll start, Rob, with first talking to you about what I've experienced as a realtor. I've come across a lot of buyers who are house hunting, but haven't even taken that first initial critical step in getting financing.
Right.
Like talking to a loan officer and finding out what they're approved for and what would be the low end and the high end of their budget. And so, and then when I speak to them about it, there seems to be some hesitation, some fear. And, I just wanted your perspective on this issue. Why are people afraid to talk to a loan officer, get financing, prior to, continuing on with the process?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I've thought about it a lot. I started 30 years ago, and back in those days, we didn't have a lot of the technology we have now, and so we spoke to people on the phone, and then we'd call the realtor up and say, it sounds like they could buy a house, but we really didn't know. And really, in today's market, a listing agent, the agent who represents the seller, wants to make sure that if they take that house off the market, if they accept your contract, that there's a great chance that you're going to have no issues getting your financing. So they want the prospective buyer to have gone through a process where a loan officer looks at W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, tax returns, runs your credit, runs you through an automated underwriting system, does what verifications they can up front, and make sure that you're sort of walking around with a blank check at that point. You have to find a lender that's willing to do that. You have to be willing to do it. It's free. So all of that is done for free. The hesitation I hear is just fear that it won't work out. People don't like to get bad news, but I personally think whether it's good or bad news at this time, you need a game plan. And then the other thing that I often hear is the issue of, well, I don't really want folks to pull my credit because I've heard that that's bad. So,
I've heard that too.
Yeah, and I agree. You don't want too many people pulling your credit, but you need to know where you are right now. The initial pull by a lender for your credit report will not affect your credit much. It's the repetitive pulls. It's the and by the way, it's repetitive pulls by different industries. If you were to have 2 or 3 lenders look at your credit at the same time, it wouldn't have an impact. They'd all get the same score. It's when you also are looking into buying a car, renting an apartment, getting 2 credit cards. That's where you see a real dip in credit scores. So I am 100% certain the right way to do this if you're considering buying a house is speak to a lender, put all your cards on the table, have them pull a credit report, and make sure that they're willing to take you through that entire process of verification and review and get you the answers that you need. Find out what programs you may qualify for as well.
Yep. And speaking about programs, so let's talk about the possible programs that are available for, let's go, first-time home buyers, repeat buyers, and out-of-state residents who plan to purchase a home in the state of Maryland and already own a home somewhere else, and Frederick County and Montgomery County. So let's start with first-time home buyers. So what programs are there available in Montgomery County and Frederick County for first-time home buyers?
Well, I think the first question to ask by most lenders are do you have VA eligibility? Were you in the VA? Were you in the military? Because that's a neat loan if you can pull that off. 0 money down and really rewards the. It's a great benefit for veterans. If you're not a veteran, there are the first-time home buyer programs. There's the HOC program specific to Montgomery County. There's the MMP program, Maryland Mortgage Program, that covers the state of Maryland. Both help with closing costs. And if you go on either of their websites, you can find those benefits. There's eligibility requirements. What's your income? Do you intend to occupy the property, et cetera, et cetera. So assuming we meet that criteria, those could be great programs for helping people. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac Both have introduced 3% down first-time home buyer programs that, by the way, are not necessarily only for first-time home buyers, but that's Home Possible and Home Ready. It's a lower rate, and it's a lower private mortgage insurance, which we could get into over a discussion, but it's a neat program for first-time home buyers. So it's out there. The programs are out there. And again, speaking to Dorothy, speaking to a lender like me, we would find out if you're eligible for those type of programs.
Okay. And what about a repeat buyer, someone who's selling and wants to buy another home, or someone who maybe wants to buy a second home?
So there's a program for everyone. I mean, if you have equity and you sell your house, it would be great if you could put 20% down. You avoid the mortgage insurance, you get a low rate, but it's not necessary. There are low down payments for repeat buyers as well. Second homes, in most cases, and I know you may find a program out there with less down payment, but I would think that it would have a higher interest rate. You're probably looking at 20% down for a second home. We also do loans for folks buying investment properties. So there's a loan for everyone. And again, to do full circle, it's the pre-approval process, speaking to a lender about what you're eligible for, what your needs are, what you're looking at, I think is super important to do up front.
Okay. So what about people who are out of state and who are thinking about moving to the state of Maryland and want to purchase a home, and they have a home, let's just say in New Jersey or New York, somewhere else in another state, Arizona, California, and they're deciding that they want to come, maybe they're relocating due to work or other, obligations or commitments. So what programs are there out there for those people who would be buying homes for the first time in the state of Maryland?
So there's a reduction of transfer taxes in Maryland. It's a big part of your closing costs for a first-time home buyer in the state of Maryland. So that's really the benefit to buying there. But you did not to take us too far on a tangent, but that's a unique situation where, again, a lender should get involved early to find out, when do you start your new job? Do you have a new job? When will you be relocating here? When will you get your first paycheck? And there are certain loans available for probably each of those categories, because it does get a little tricky. We do loans for, teachers that are resettling, people who are coming to work for the government, and the timing of when they start their job. Do they have an offer letter that they've signed? All of that should be reviewed up front. And don't despair. I mean, there's a loan for you, but the closer you are to having a paycheck in your hand, probably the more likely you'll have different options when it comes to financing.
That's really good. That's good to know. Okay. Yeah. So you heard it here at DM in the MD Real Estate in Focus. So if you are a buyer, whether you're first time, repeat buyer, or someone from out of state, and you're thinking about purchasing a home in the state of Maryland, you can contact me, Dorothy Menelas, at 301-639-2061. I will walk you through the process of home ownership. And you can also obviously contact Rob.
Yeah, I can be reached. I'm always checking email. So it's rmercer, that's MERCER, at firsthome.com. So rmercer at firsthome.com. Or call me at the office, 240-479-2302. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And you can also email me at dorothy@theabrams.group. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up button. And also, don't forget to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below to the right-hand side. Until next time, thank you for watching. If you have any feedback, comments, please post them below, and we'll get back to you. Thank you. Bye.